Okay, welcome everyone to the Wednesday edition of 15 Minutes of Positivity. If you've never been here before and this is new for you, then here's the here's the quick pitch. We're going to spend the next few minutes activating parts of our brain that oftentimes we neglect just because we're busy and we forget to do it. But if we flex those proverbial mental muscles, in my experience, we just get better and better at doing that. And um, in some ways, I almost think of it as like it's almost like a rebel stand of some sort. Like life has this capacity to um, just be relentless and kind of beat us down. And so this is our way of saying, yeah, but wait a second, I'm gonna do what's meaningful to me for a few moments. So um, today's theme is beauty, joy, and awe. Uh, in my I don't know, almost a decade of working in this space, working with humans struggling with depression, anxiety, PTSD. I've come to realize that intentionally stimulating or finding moments of beauty, joy, and awe in our days is a really, really important skill to learn. And as I was thinking about it, it reminded me of in a former life, I was a wilderness guide. So I would take people out into wilderness settings for typically like 30 to 60 days at a time. So a pretty extended period. And I would remember these moments. We'd be cold and hungry, and we'd just climbed something or kayaked somewhere and setting up camp. And our rations would be kind of getting low, and all you had left was like this fistful of dried lentils and maybe half a bouillon cube or something like that. And we'd be sitting around the campfire heating the stuff up, and invariably it ended up being like the best meal that we had ever had because it meant so much to us in that moment. And I know in my life right now where I have a fridge that's stocked full of food that I buy at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. And it's very easy to lose sight of how amazing it is that we actually have access to basics like food or shelter. When it rains, for the most part, I don't get wet. Whereas, back in those days, when it rained or snowed, you'd be dealing with some really basic stuff of just like, oh my gosh, how do I stay dry? How do I stay warm? How do I survive this? And so there's sometimes I yearn for the simplicity of that kind of existence where it's just so straightforward and so basic. And anyway, so I'm bringing all this up just in the hopes that just for a few minutes today, to remind ourselves of um, how much we have in our lives and uh, how quickly and dramatically, if we didn't have those things in our life, we would be appreciating these really basic, simple things such as food and shelter and companionship and so on. So yeah, let's spend some time stimulating beauty, joy, and awe. So close your eyes. As always, just starting off with what we've got right here, right now. My guess is if we're all on this call and we have the capacity to spend some time doing this, we're relatively safe. Our basic needs are met. And just noticing for a moment, like this is not the case for so many humans on planet Earth right here, right now. They don't have internet access. They don't have a community that wants to make space for them and see them. They're not hydrated. They don't have a belly full of food. The list goes on. And yet we have this for the most part right here, right now. Just noticing where the that sense of appreciation for what we have in this moment, where that lives in our body. There's this quote that I want to read, which is, "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." So just noticing the magic that is present in this moment right now. The invitation is for our senses to grow sharper and notice and appreciate and absorb the goodness that is here right now. Maybe everyone's muted, so you can say this out loud. See what happens when you say, "I see beauty in," just notice what comes up. In this moment, I see beauty in, notice what arises, allow it to arise and take over. It doesn't have to be a huge, profound insight. It can literally be as simple as see beauty in just being me and sitting in this chair right now with all these wonderful people. It's enough. I feel joy when I, again, just noticing what comes up. How does that sentence get completed for you? So I feel joy when I, again, noticing where in the body that registers, the images, memories that come up, how you think of joy and how you experience it. And I experience awe when I, again, just noticing what comes up. Where and when do you experience awe? Where in the body does awe live? And sometimes it can feel a little bit contrived, to almost like we're trying to force some experience. That's not what I'm trying to activate here. There's more of a settling into and just relaxing into this natural ability that we all have to experience beauty, joy, and awe. Just noticing sensations in the body, images, or people that show up when we direct our attention to beauty, joy, and awe. And by giving just a little bit of airtime, just a few minutes of intentional effort to remember how we experience beauty, joy, and awe, we're stimulating our nervous system to remember what it's like to have those experiences. Sometimes they're big, like looking at the Milky Way and being awestruck by the cosmos, and other times it's just little things like realizing I have taste buds that get to experience the flavor of blueberries that I bought at the grocery store. That's enough. And to whatever extent you can, see if you can locate where in the body, where's the locus of this experience. When you think of beauty, joy, and awe, where does that live in the body? And see if you can intentionally become familiar with that sensation. This is what it feels like when I open myself up to that experience of beauty or joy, awe. Take a deep breath in through the nose, long, slow exhale through the mouth, slowly expelling air out of the body, out as much as you can. And then hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In through the nose. Make this exhale as long and slow as you can. And trust that at the very end of this exhale, when it feels like you just can't exhale anymore, you can just hang out and just hold the exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then appreciate the inhale. Let the body breathe on its own for a moment. And hopefully just resting, remembering this afterglow of beauty, joy, and awe. And your eyes coming back to the session. We're out of time, but yeah, hope that was a good reminder that it's all there. Sometimes we just need to remember to connect with it. So